everybody, and welcome to the RC Retro channel. In one of my previous videos, the Comical Grasshopper made a quick cameo appearance on my friend's track. And a few of the viewers dropped comments asking how it handles on the track and what can be done to improve its overall performance if you plan on running it on a track. So as promised, I'm putting out a follow-up video to share some additional footage of it on the track, which you just previously saw, and talk to you a little bit about what can be done to improve its overall performance. And this is not mine. This is my friend's. He lent it to me for the video. And it is not painted in the traditional grasshopper theme. He decided to paint it in the Masami Cat XLS color scheme, which I think is pretty damn cool. And he painted the wheels as well. And, you know, the track that you see is his track. And, you know, he runs it on there. And, you know, it's a pretty decent sized track for what we run as far as 1/10 scale. And it's pretty smooth. And this thing handled pretty well on there, believe it or not. So much so that on my third time running on that track with my Ultima over here, and we've got to keep in mind it was like my third time running on a dirt track and I'm not the best driver. I was just all over the place on that track, smacking into everything, flipping over. And my friend with this comical grasshopper lapped me twice. So, true story. But my driving is improving, just to let you all know. So anyways, what can be done to improve the overall performance of the Comical Grasshopper? And the number one upgrade on any RC, I would say, is ball bearings, and this does not come with those. So I would get yourself a set of those and put them in. And interestingly enough, I did not know this, but this comes with the gearbox partially built or pre-built, so you're gonna have to take that apart and swap out whatever's in there for ball bearings. So keep that in mind, right? Number two, the tires. The tires on here have more of a street tread on them. Good for pavement, good for a grass field. But as far as a dirt track, you're gonna want something that gives you a lot of traction and can really dig into the dirt. And these really don't do that. Now, as far as options out there, there's not many. And if you know of something other than these tires that you could recommend, please drop me a comment and let me know, because I went onto eBay and did a little research online and really couldn't find anything. I would say it would be interesting, though, to get the tires that are on the Comical Avante that just came out and put them on here if they do, in fact, fit, and see how those would handle, because those look like they would give you a little bit better grip on a dirt track than what comes on the Comical Grasshopper or the Hornet or the Frog. But I don't even know if the tires would fit on the front, and I could be mistaken. But at least I think that they would fit on the back, and that might make a world of difference, just having those tires on the back just to give a little bit more traction. We'll see. I mean, that's something that, I can hopefully get my hands on in the near future and maybe test out and post on the channel, right? So let's start off with the front of the car. The servos. I am a big advocate for quality servos. For something like this, you don't have to go crazy. I would just recommend getting something that has at least 10 kilograms of torque just to be able to push these bigger tires back and forth. The cheapy servos, such as, like, let's say the Futaba analog ones, like the S3s, the S3003s, probably would not give you enough power and would be, a little underwhelmed. I would say look for something, and again, you don't have to go crazy. There are decently priced servos out there that'll give you at least 10 kilograms of torque to push these back and forth. And again, if you're just using this on an open field just to go wherever, you can put whatever you want in there. But if you're looking to make sharp turns and hug corners for a track, I would say get something that's going to be quick and enough torque to push these back and forth, right? What is in here right now as far as a servo? It is one of those red label Amazon specials that have 25 kilograms of torque, and that is way more than enough. And like you saw in the video, this handles fine, right? Moving to the middle of the car, you have a stock Silvercan 540 motor, which gives us plenty of power, more than enough to even pop wheelies. So you probably want to stick with that. You don't want something that's going to be too strong, where you're going to be flying around the track and popping wheelies and losing control. So a 540 can is suffice. If you are itching to take it out and put something else in there, maybe a torque tune motor, just to give it a little bit more punch, but really that's about it. Also, since this is a mid-mounted motor and it is exposed, I would say getting yourself one of those motor, what are they? Sorry, I'm looking over here. One of those aluminum motor guards. I got some notes. Sorry. I'll get you a aluminum motor guard over here just to kind of cut down on the amount of dirt and little rocks that are coming into the motor. And also, because they're aluminum, they would act as a heat sink and dissipate the heat from the motor, so that is greatly beneficial as well. And speaking about aluminum, there are tons of aluminum upgrades from all different companies out there for these comicals, and if bling is your thing, I would say go for it if you want to make it shiny. But I really don't think it would improve its overall performance because this thing is like a little, compact tank, and it's very durable, much like an actual grasshopper or a hornet. This thing will take a beating and will last you for a very long time. And but again, if you want to go aluminum on here just to reinforce parts, I say go for it, but not really necessary to improve its overall performance on a track. If anything, and remember, this does come with oil-filled shocks, but if anything, I would say maybe the aluminum oil-filled shocks that are available for this on Tamiya USA, it is that nice brushed nickel look with those blue anodized shock caps. But again, that's just for aesthetic purposes. These are oil-filled shocks, and according to my friend who runs this quite often on his track, as far as the suspension on here, these work just fine, right? So you can save yourself a couple bucks. But other than that, ball bearings, tires, and maybe a torque tune motor, and then that's really it. If you want to do aluminum parts, go for it, like I said. One other thing that I do see people on the comical Facebook groups doing is that they are widening the wheelbase on here. And of course, that will improve its overall performance. I do not know what parts they are using from other Tamiya chassis to transplant on here to make it wider. I apologize for that. I am ill prepared with that information, but you can go on Facebook and go to one of those comical groups, and I'm sure somebody on there will point you in the right direction. I just belong to so many Facebook groups dedicated to RCs that I don't have a lot of time to go through all of them. I'm kind of just flipping through and looking over. And plus, you could always join my RC Retro Facebook group as well, if you want. So, you could just go into the search bar and just type in RC space retro, and you can find my Facebook group like that. Or hit me up with a comment below and I will put the link in, or you can go right to the description of this video and find the link to my Facebook group. And I'm also on Instagram as well. All right, so with that is pretty much what I would do just to improve the overall performance of the Comical series, and it's really not much. And remember, this was not intended to be a race car. This was meant for the silly, stupid, bounce around, popping a wheelie fun that it is, right? But if you are going to be running with some other people who have Comical Hornets and you do want to upgrade your car, those are the upgrades that I would suggest, all right? So with that, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're a subscriber, thanks for your support. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing because I can greatly use your support as well. And with that, thank you all, take care, and I will see you in my next video. Let's go, let's go!